Okay, let's get. There we go.
You gonna introduce Taz then, Catherine?
Yes, well, next we have on Taz Crew, and most of you will remember him from his um, when he and his band of Tortured Souls played for us at the Christmas party. And you also might be seeing a lot of him lately. This past, was it 36 weeks, 37 weeks, practically now, of his latest CD Drive On is it's been in the top 50 blues chart now for several months, and so we're really so I'm hoping we get to hear a little bit of his new music as well as some of his old music. But to start out with, he's going to talk about he has he received the award from the Blues Foundation, award for keeping the blues alive. Was that 2014? And
Yes.
And so he you know, has a lot of different programs that he does and works in like the schools and hospitals and different places. So I'll let you just take it away, Taz, and then you can do this how you.
All right. Hopefully I'm on now and you got me, right?
Yep.
We all
We
good?
do.
We all good, Gary?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Right.
Sounds like a guitar.
My dog, I know he loved me, my dog. My dog, I know he loved me, my dog. My dog, I know he loved me. All he wants to do is kiss and hug me, my dog. Well, I know he loved me, my dog. My dog, he's got a big round belly, my dog. My dog, he's got a big round belly, my dog. My dog, he's got a big round belly. Well, he rolls in the fish and gets real, real smelly, my dog. He got a big round belly, my dog. He got a big round belly, my dog. I know he love me, my dog. All right, let's get that right out there to you. I wanted to start. Thank you very much.
Doggone Blues.
Leaning the blues education with that song right there. But before I get into that, I want to thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to this. I'm glad that it really worked out. During this COVID thing, I've been trying to keep myself real active with doing a lot of creative projects and working on a new album, doing some fun things with some writing of some blues books for people. I'll explain those in a bit too. And fortunately, I'm still enjoying a lot of airplay and a lot of success with the album that I put out in February called Drive On. As Catherine talked about, it's been on the charts for a long time since it's been out. Been on the top 50 for the last 36 weeks, and half of those weeks it was in the top 10. So people are digging it, people are buying it. I had the chance to play a lot of that music out just before the COVID thing hit. Right after your Christmas party, that's when I started rehearsing the band for the tour that started in January, when we were playing that stuff out a lot. So I'm lucky. I got to play the new music out a little bit before this all happened. I was hopefully been playing it all year long, but things change. But I've been keeping busy anyhow. So this is one of the things that it helps me, keep my hand in it. And I want to commend the Blues Society for, being, creative in the way you're trying to do things to keep your blues community connected. So I admire you for that, and thank you. Blues education. Well, as a touring musician, if I didn't do blues in schools or hospitals or blues in libraries, community centers, if I didn't do those things when I was touring, I wouldn't be able to afford to tour. Here's the deal. Your festival gig on the weekend, that's good. That's not too hard. You build around those. You get a nice couple of nice venues, the better venues, the listening room venues, the concert type venues on Thursdays and Fridays. And Sundays have become very popular as well. But what the heck do you do on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday? You got a band on the road. You got to put them up in a hotel. They expect to get paid. I don't know why. I think they're having as much fun as I am. But anyhow, for some reason, they want to get paid. What do you do? Blues education is something I've always been interested in. And as a performer and a believer in this genre, I think it's the most important thing that I do. We're not going to be, we need to replace our audience here at some point. And we need to bring these folks along. And I agree with everything that Rose said. And there's not enough blues education in schools. In some places, there's more than you would realize. In places, I would think. In some places that I think that there would be, nothing. Just blew me away when I went to I'm not going to say the town. In the Deep South at a high school, and there was no paying attention. I mean, it was, let's put it this way, it was the birthplace of Willie Dixon, and the kids got nothing in school about it at all. I was surprised by that. They got their reasons, I'm sure, but anyhow. So I want to talk about a little bit what I do in blues in schools in particular. When I go to a blues in schools program, I usually do two types. It's either working directly with music students, and if it's going to be with music students, it's kids that are at least in 8th grade through seniors. And that's a very different program and a very different kind of approach. The other program is general assemblies for kids or classroom-based things. And that's very different because you got the music kids are motivated. They're interested in this stuff and they want to know this music. So you got them right there. But these other kids, they're not quite sure. You know, you walk in, you got your stuff set up. Here comes Grandpa going to play some music for us. Oh boy, this is a lot of fun, huh? Well, you got to get them right away, right? Get them right away. And that song that I did right there, My Dog, is the song that I use in my elementary programs. I'm talking about K through 6 programs. How I usually start that off is I start off comping on that song like this. And I go, I'm going to tell you about my favorite person in the whole world. He's a little bit brown, he's a little bit black, he's a little bit white. He's about to, I'm describing a dog. And then they finally get it, right? And I sing, how many of you have a dog? I have a dog. Do you love your dog? Yeah. Does your dog love you? How do you know? And then I sing the song and I hook them in that way. And then I can start to get into more depth of what blues is and what I'm trying to teach them about this music. And we can go lots of different directions with that. Some teaching tips about with that. When I say elementary, I'm talking about young kids, but there's a great range of diversity in elementary. What kids that are in kindergarten through 2nd grade are going to dig and get into. Kids in 3rd and 4th, not really, but 5th and 6th, got them, lost them. They're not even going to pay attention. They're going to sit and giggle and laugh and not pay attention and just be disrupted. For kids that are in 5, 6, when you get into things with them, the younger kids, they can't understand it. So you're talking over their heads. I've been to blues programs where the Blues Society person has gone into the auditorium full of young children and talked for 10 minutes straight about the history of the blues and it just not even a clue what the heck he was talking about. And my band and I just sit there and cringe while they do this because we watch the kids, they're tuning out. And then we got to rescue them. That's how I feel about it. It's like, you got to get these kids right away. With young kids, it's a song like that. Dogs, they can relate to dogs, okay? With older kids, maybe you recognize that song as a bastardization of the great song "My Babe," right? That's what that is. But with the older kids, I actually sing My Babe, and I tell them about My Babe. I tell them about the blues. I usually ask them, I go, what's the first thing comes to mind when you think about blues music, if you've ever heard about it? And sure enough, 9 times out of 10, they'll say sad. So I sing that song, and I go, was that a sad song? And they go, no, that's a blues song. It's sad. It's not sad. It's a blues song. It should be sad, right? They go, blues isn't about sadness. It's about getting over sadness. And sometimes there are sad songs. And I go into all that kind of stuff with them. But with that song, instead of talking about dogs, I talk about, well, it's a guy talking about, being in love. He wants to celebrate that he's in love with somebody. And man, you want to see 13-year-old kids start giggling and getting blushed up and stuff. It's funny as heck. But you get them. You get them. And then you pull them in, and then you can get into the education part of that. So The age difference is really, really important. You got to pay attention to that, and you got to know how to work that a little bit. And even with schools that give you an elementary program of K through 6, you're asked, that's like a I tell them I don't even do those like that anymore. I go, no, we got to split them up. That's too big of an age range. You can't reach those kids. So that's called age appropriateness. If anybody's ever been involved in teaching at all, they've heard that term before. The rule of thumb is this: we're doing these kind of programs. The younger the kid, the shorter the program, and the more participation, less talk. You can do more talk with the older that they get, more interesting facts. For example, with middle school and high school kids, they love the Robert Johnson story. They love to hear about the guy selling his soul to the devil. They love to hear about that. And I go, do you think that's true? They go, I don't know. I tell them that story in the context of blues music coming from African American perspectives, and that it's a storytelling. There are a lot of legends in that, and the blues still respects that even in 2020. So kids get right into that, man. They just love that whole thing, and pretty much we come around to the idea that maybe Robert Johnson didn't really sell a soul to the devil. We don't know, but probably he went away for a couple of years, and when he came back and he played with these guys who used to not let him play with them, they said, well, that Johnson guy, he's so good now, he must have gone soul to the devil. Actually, he probably just practiced for a couple of years. We know that he went over and hung out with Robert Lockwood Jr. over there in Helena, Arkansas, so he probably practiced. But they get into that, and that's what I mean by age appropriateness. So that's the most important thing. And your goals, depending upon the age of the kids, are going to be different. With young kids, what's your goal? You want them leaving there thinking, some guy came and he played this music and it was called blues and I liked it. That's it. Okay? With older kids, this guy came and he played blues music. It's not music that we hear much today, but he showed us that if you pay attention to music today, you can hear the blues in it because the blues is at the foundation of it. Good. Good. There's so different goals for that. So age appropriateness is really important, and being able to relate to the kids. So that's my spiel on that. Well, Catherine, anything you want to say about that or anything before I move on to a couple other things about how to manage a big class of kids like that?
No, it's just, I mean, the point you're making, really sink in and you're talking about K through 12, but there's a lot of adults that are kind of at different levels too.
Absolutely.
It was what it strikes me with, and so I'm really enjoying this.
Well, there are blues fans that are at different levels too. I used to some of you know if you've attended the IBC that I host this big jam at the Rum Boogie on Tuesday nights there, right at the start of it. I've been doing it for 13 years. When I first started doing that, I actually did it at Ground Zero in Clarksdale. I used to try to get people to come down there to Clarksdale. And I played, I got in with the folks at Clarksdale, and I come and play at Ground Zero a couple of times. I'll never forget. Playing at Ground Zero, I went in there, and if you've ever been in, here I am as a musician, I go, wow, I'm in the belly of the beast. I pulled out the deep blues songs I could find, man. I really went at them with, it's like this guy from New York, watch what he can do. And I played the deepest blues songs you could come up with, right? And they're kind of like, lukewarm, okay, they dig it, but not going crazy. And then I ran out of that repertoire and I started playing what I call tourist blues. Tore Down, Pride and Joy, things like that. And the place goes nuts. Absolutely crazy. Well, then I realized they're not locals, they're tourists here. Of course. They're tourists. So you and I were talking the other night. It's like when that blues party, the Christmas party was such a great time, and every blues musician, every musician that performs knows you got to size up that audience pretty quick. Because if you approach it just doing what you want to do, it might not be what they want. Mm-hmm. I saw right away that your crowd that there was a dancing crowd. So I didn't do any of the real, pensive, slow, deep blues kind of things that was on my set list. I said, no, they want to dance. That's what we'll do. We'll give it to them. And we did. And everybody had a great time. We left. Everybody was happy. I was happy. Every blues musician, performing knows you have to do that with your adult audiences, your blues audiences, but you got to do it with kids. You just can't walk into an assembly with your band and play it and expect the kids are going to dig it. So then there's management, classroom management problems too. How do you manage that group? Well, you need to be the one who manages it, not the principal, not the teachers. Because if you're not managing it, someone else is, they're not engaged with you, they're engaged with them. Here's a couple of things I recommend. First of all, talk to the principal and find out, especially in elementary. Yeah, high school is different. In elementary, find out if they have a school-wide recognized way of getting kids to calm, to quiet down. Schools, all schools have them. Back in the day when maybe you and I were in school, if the teacher wanted us to be quiet, she shut off the lights. They don't do that anymore. They're much more creative. They do everything from rhythmic hand claps, right? And the kids all clap back and then they calm right down. There's all kinds of things. Ask a teacher, find out what they use. Is there a universal way that the kids are using it? And when you do that with them, when you want them to quiet down, psychologically they're going, oh, well, he's one of the staff here now. I mean, we've got to behave, got to do what he does because he knows what he's talking about. Questions, when you ask kids questions. First of all, if you can talk to a couple of teachers ahead of time to find out who in their class might, be a teacher that likes, or a student that likes to participate, or probably going to really be into it and paying attention, you can zero in on those kids. Remember that. The worst thing you can do when you ask a question is to call on the first kid who raises her hand. The first kid who raises her hand or his hand is a kid who's not thought about the question. Some of you are old enough to remember an old TV show called Welcome Back, Kotter. Remember that guy, Horshack? Ooh, 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 right? If you get called on, he was going to say something totally not even close to what it is you're talking about. Don't call on the first kid that raises their hand. Call on the kid that's been thinking about it. But a better way to do that, instead of asking kids directly for a question, and this works great with middle schoolers who don't want to say anything because they're afraid of saying something stupid. That's what they're thinking, and their friends are going to laugh at them. Do this. Okay. Ask the person next to you, what is the first word that comes to their mind when they hear the word blues? See, now what you've done, you've taken it out of their responsibility, and you've put it on somebody else, and everybody can do that. So when you call on someone, you can say, okay, what did your person tell you that they thought? So it's not them saying it. It's probably the same thing they thought about anyhow. And then they talked about it. So they thought it through and rehearsed what it is that they want to say so they feel comfortable. That's a big trick that works really, really, really well. The tell a friend thing. And the last thing about questions is this. Wait time. When you ask kids a question, wait. Be patient. Wait. They need time to think and process that and get up the nerve of whether they want to respond to you or not. You can't ask, I've seen people ask questions, the kids haven't even worked through the question in their head and they're on to, well, okay, well then, and then they're going to tell the answer. Soon enough, what you're telling the kids is, if we wait long enough, he's not going to ask us. He's just going to tell us anyhow. So why should we even bother to ask? Wait time is really, really important. So those are the experiences that I have. Music classes, we could get, we've already been 15 minutes into this. I could go on another 15 minutes about how you need to prepare for working with music classes. That's a whole different ballgame. But I wanted to just focus on generally working with schools. The last thing about working with schools is you have to remember that there's a very good chance that you're probably not the most important thing that's happening in that school that day. Okay? So don't go in with any kind of attitude. Don't be, if you got to, carry your gear down a hallway when there's a door right next to that they don't want you to use, well, buck up. That's what you got to do. They have reasons, right, for that. And the last hint is when a school tells you that they have a PA and microphones, don't believe them. Because what they have, you don't want to use. I've been told they got it, and I go in there and they got a stand-up podium with a mic on a gooseneck. That's it. Bring your own stuff. It's worth it. Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah.
So, those are my tips to get you started. I'm telling you, think about the age differences. Think about how much participation versus talk. Think about how you can relate to them a little bit. And think about how you're asking questions. That's real important. Like I said, blues education, it's important to me, but I got to be realistic. In that KPA speech, I said right out to the people in the audience when I got the award, I said, I'm going to be truthful. I think it's one of the most important things people do. But I want to tell you this. Where else is a blues guy on the road going to get a gig at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning? That's the truth. So
Yeah.
I love doing it, as you can tell. I'm going to just talk about one more thing about that. I got really, there's a little bit of, little advertising here. I did a couple of really creative and neat programs. One of them is I had a writing program where I had to have kids who are reluctant writers. They don't write much and they don't really like it. Give them a reason to write. So they took some, I had a CD that I did with about dogs that get the blues. I have it on my website. And I had to model how to do that with a little story where they took the song and wrote the backstory. Well, I had so much fun doing it, I couldn't stop. So I took one of those songs and I created a book out of it called Bad Dog Bubba. It's about one of the dogs. He's a blues dog. Anyhow, let me just read a little excerpt here a little bit. Bubba's a bad dog. He's a fur shedder, jeweler, food scarfer, toilet bowl slipper, and a devoted trash can marauder. He's a bulbous-nosed, 99 1/2 pound blued rhymes with dude hound. Anyhow, he's trying to form a dog blues band. He's really into it. And he goes around telling other dogs in town blues is like a half-eaten sandwich you find laying on the sidewalk. Give it a sniff, you might like it. They go for that. And they come together. In the second book, called The Doggone Blues Band, he entices them there with the sandwiches, gets them to listen to his owner's band, and they're going like, yeah, if we're going to get sandwiches, we like this music, maybe we'll explore it. So they actually do come together and form a band. The third book, which I'm working on right now, is called Muddy the Waters, which is the last of the trilogy, in which a new dog comes to town, and things get kind of stirred up there a little bit. So that'll be out by the end of December. I have to do a shameless plug there. All those books are available right on my website, tazcrew.com, so check them out. But that all came out of blues education, the whole dog thing. I'm a big dog fanatic, and yeah, it was fun. So there you go. There's my blues education kind of spiel right now. Unless you have any other questions or comments or...
Well,
That's awesome, Taz. I have your first book, which my grandchildren really like. So
Yeah.
I'm going to have to, for Christmas, I'm going to have to get the sequel for sure.
Yeah, check it out.
I have a question for you too. We in the Blues Society have been talking for quite a long time about using some of our funds that we raise from membership and so forth to do education. And I'm curious as to what it takes to say get you to come from your northern lair up there down to southern Pennsylvania to do that. Do you need to have a sort of a tour arranged where maybe you have some
No,
gigs?
not necessarily. Yeah, a place like where you are. That's my neighbors laugh at me when they ask my next door neighbor. Just can't believe what I do for a living. He gets a kick out of it. What do you do? Why are you going there? And I said, well, he doesn't understand it. So I tell him when I go on someplace to you, I go, oh, that's a regional. That's just a short one. And he goes, how far is it? And I said, about 400 miles. And he goes, whoa, because he doesn't ever go like 60 miles from his house. But no, I would come down there to do a blues education program. Usually, at the least, it's set up alongside of a regular gig as well.
Mhm.
And I bring my band or I work with musicians.
We probably could arrange that as well.
Yeah, I'm sure you,
A
looking
gig.
at
I
looking
would
at that
just
gear
be
behind
great.
you, I'm thinking that you probably could.
Yeah, well, that's my little man cave.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I love doing blues programs with that. Do you have an active blues in school program? Do you have a coordinator or anything?
No, but we do have a chair of an education committee,
Yeah.
Hannah Sherman,
Oh, I know
and
him.
do you know Hannah?
Yeah,
Yep.
Hannah and I hit it off like we were old friends down at their
Yeah, well,
Christmas party.
she has that effect on people. So
Hmm.
yeah, we'll explore that, and we would love to have you come down
Yeah.
and do something. Once the schools get back to normal, they're probably not letting people in and that kind of thing. But
No, they're overwhelmed right now. I've people that I normally work with on a lot of these. We talk and they're just like, no, they're not even thinking about those kinds of things right now. Not at all.
yeah,
So
Right.
it's going to be a while, but we'll get back to it.
All right, cool. All right, well, I'm going to shut up and let you play some music for us. How about that?
All right. Well, cool. I got a whole bunch of songs that I got queued up here that I could play. Um, Let me
And
look
you
at my
can
little
play as
list here
long
and
as
see
you
what I
want.
got. What's that?
You can play as long as you want. Just
Okay.
All righty, I'm out of here.
Well, I should play something from the Drive On album. I mean, that's the one that's getting all the current airplay. Now, if there are any Bluesville listeners out there, uh, you've been hearing it. I don't know. Is that backwards now for you guys?
Nope,
That's the
that
album.
looks good.
Okay. Drive On. And for the longest time, Bluesville was playing the heck out of one song. I learned a long time ago. I'm old enough to know that if you want radio to play something from your CD, make sure that the first cut is about 3.5 minutes long, and make sure it's snappy. And that's what I did. Put it on the cut, and sure enough, that's the one that everybody wants to play. Well, I bet you all know what I'm talking about. Well, that one sure thing nobody lives without. Something shiny like a shiny diamond ring, worth a whole lot more than your pocket stuffed with cream. Well, I think some now you might know what I mean when I'm talking about that loving thing. Well, you had someone you gonna want to try it. Well, it comes at a cost, but it's well worth the price. Not your money, crazy as I seem, worth a whole lot more than your pocket full of dreams. Well, I think so now. You might know what I mean when I'm talking about that loving thing. Well, everybody wants some of that loving thing. Everybody needs a little of that loving thing. Down that whole wide world, don't everybody dream some of that loving thing, loving thing, loving thing, loving thing. There we go. That loving thing. The short at-home acoustic version of that. Thank you. Thank you. Something else from that Drive On CD I'd like to do. Now, this one I wrote this song. It was before COVID. It's called Save Me, and it's before COVID, but people started hearing it after the COVID thing, so people think it's about the whole COVID thing. And not just COVID, but the great troubles that we're going through right now as a country of trying to decide how we're going to, work together and all that. That's what people thought it's about. And it's not really. It's about, from traveling around, I see lots of different places, lots of different people, and see things in cities that maybe some people don't normally see when they drive through if they don't leave the interstate. And I'm still concerned that things maybe not be so great for some people from what I see. People in the street and stuff like that. So that's what this song is about, anyhow. But when I submitted this CD for this year's Round of Blues Music Award consideration, they ask you, do you want to submit one of your songs to be considered for Song of the Year? And the category talks about it has to be something that's clearly blues and something that speaks to the genre today, and maybe if it's something that, is relevant to the times as well. So who knows? Maybe the song "Save Me" will be right up there in the nominations, along with like Elvin Bishop version of "What the Hell Is Going On." I don't know if you've heard that, but that's pretty cool. Anyhow, it's called "Save Me." Save me, everybody's crying. Save me, I need your help. Seems like nobody really trying. Everybody only wanna save themselves, save themselves, save themselves. Everybody only wanna save themselves. Heal those who suffer lost and lonely. Heal those who cry themselves asleep. Seems like nobody wanna listen. No one hears the song of the frail and weak. The frail and weak, frail and weak. No one hears the song of the frail and weak. Where's the love we share for one another? Where's the hand of God guiding all we do? Fear and hate got us all running for cover. Where it's love and hope, that's the path we are to choose. Save me, everybody's crying. Save me, I need your help. Seems like nobody really trying. Everybody only wanna save themselves, save themselves, save themselves. Everybody only want to save themselves, save themselves, save themselves. Everybody only want to save themselves. Thank you much.
Yeah.
Thanks. I didn't play those songs at the Christmas party. They were still there. I just finished the recording just prior to coming down, and the band had not really rehearsed them yet. So I did when I went out on the road, and I put the road band together with a couple of Pennsylvania boys are on tour with me. One of them just put out an album on his own recently. You've heard of him. His name's Gabe Stillman up there in Williamsport.
Oh yeah.
He and his bass player there, Colin. I met Gabe when he was 14 years old up in Williamsport. I went and there's a music program up there called Uptown Music Collective, and they do a bluesathon concert every year, and they bring in somebody, usually an East Coast touring musician. Margolone's done it quite a few times. I've done it 3 times, and some others. And I met Gabe when he was 14. He was good then, and next time I came back, he just graduated from high school, and he was real good. Next time I came back, he had just finished up at Berkeley, and well,
Yeah.
it's pretty special.
Whoa.
And next thing I know, he went down to Memphis in the IBC. The one year he went, they didn't do real well. They came back the second year and they made the finals, and he won that darn award. But he and his bass player Colin and the drummer that was with me at the Christmas party, Sonny Rock, he and I, the 4 of us all rehearsed that material, took it on the road. And when we got to Memphis, we hooked up with keyboard player from down Florida, and the sax player from Houston, Texas, that I had play on the album is named Anthony Terry. He plays most famously with my good friend Anika Chambers' band, and a woman who works with me all the time, helping me write songs and contributes to the songs, Marianne Cassell. She was on that too. And we played a little bit, and then of course everybody kind of went home, and then the COVID thing hit, and that was it. So we did get a chance to play this stuff, so it was kind of fun. Let me play.
Gabe plays guitar on your album, on the drive by,
I do most of it.
the drive on. Oh, you do most of it. Okay.
Gabe plays some slide on it.
Cool.
Gabe Stillman plays some of the slide on like three of the songs,
Nice.
but I do the rest of it. He's he's a better slide player than me, so why not? And he's good, and he's fun, and they're very, very great musician. He's really good at giving me what I'm looking for. You know, I will never forget on that one song called Memphis Blue on that album. I said to him, okay, don't get me wrong, I love Derek Trucks. I love that style. I love Dwayne Allman, but, you know, I'm looking for more Sonny Landreth here on this than I am those guys. And he nailed it. You know, you listen to that song, Memphis Blue, that slide work on that is something else. That's really, really melodic, really good stuff. So anyhow. Okay, so there's the album Drive On. So I can get that. You can get that on the old website too. Shameless promotion here. I got it. I'm not working, you know.
Well, and besides
So
that,
there it
yeah.
is. It's real easy. TazCrew.com. You can find all that stuff. All
Yeah.
that stuff.
We're
The
putting it on
album, the
Facebook, but
books.
people can also read about your CD and how to get it in the Blues newsletter.
Yeah, yeah. And if they go to the site and they're interested in the books or some of my other CDs,
Yeah.
they can find that there. Speaking of other CDs, maybe that's a good segue into a song from one of the other CDs. I'll do this one. You've heard me talk about Memphis a few times here. Some of the most coolest things in my career have happened in Memphis. I got a guitar hanging from the ceiling at the Rum Boogie with my name on it. That's pretty cool. Enjoy that a lot. We've raised on that Jam for Generation Blues over the last 12 years, we've raised close to $30,000. And I realize for some people that's a drop in the bucket. There's people that support Blues Foundation and things like that could sit down and write that check right there and then. But I'm proud of that money because it comes from the pockets of musicians and their families who are attending IBC. So they're given 10, 20 bucks out of their pocket when they're coming to, that's an expensive proposition when you're an IBC thing. So some blues societies can support their bands more than others. And so anyhow, Memphis is a very special place for these events, and we all get together and blues family and all that. So this song came together. I did not write this song all by myself. Marianne Cassell wrote this song mostly. And she played it for me, and she sang it so beautifully. And I said, that's a great, can I mess with that? And she goes, go ahead. And then I did my version of it, which is not anywhere near as beautiful as when she did it. But she said, go ahead. So here it is. Sing me a Memphis song, soul from the city where the blues plays on. Sing now, I'll sing along. Sing to me your Memphis song, Memphis song. Sing to me your Memphis song. I know I don't belong, living up here just feels so wrong. I hear that Memphis thing calling me now, said come to me, come to me, come on home and come to me. Sing me your Memphis song, sing me your Memphis song. I hear you calling, you've been too long gone. Come on home and sing your Memphis song, your Memphis song. Take me on the road down the Mississippi to my home sweet home. Sing me that Memphis song, need a little help just to carry on. Not brings that southern breeze, whispering your melody. Hey now, won't be long, coming on home to sing your song, sing your song. Coming on home and sing your song. Sing me your Memphis song, sing me your Memphis song. I hear you calling, you've been too long gone. Come on home and sing a Memphis song. Come on home and sing a Memphis song. Come on home and sing your Memphis song. There you go. Thanks. That was the title cut from the album Memphis Song, which is right before Drive On. How are we doing on time here, folks?
Well, you got plenty of time.
All right.
We're not watching the clock anymore.
We're not? Okay. Well, there are other people that are going to play. I want to make sure that
No,
give them
you're
their
it,
stage
man.
time.
You're the headliner. You're closing the show out, so.
Well, I mentioned at the Christmas party there were, you know, a bunch of songs that I've been working on for the Drive On album that I wanted to maybe start to play out a little bit, and a whole bunch of other things in my repertoire that I would have played, except I was having too much fun playing songs that were keeping people shaking it on the floor. Well, this is one of the songs that I would have played. And I love this song so much that it's actually worth having a tuned guitar. Anyhow, this song is a song I wrote a long time ago. It's a song that's very special to me for a lot of reasons. This next album that I'm going to be working on is going to be what I call a quasi-acoustic album, which is quite a departure from the Drive On album, which is full-blown with great keyboard work by Boston's great Anthony Gerasi, saxophone with Anthony Terry, and of course Gabe Stillman on the slide. This one's going to be quasi-acoustic. What I mean by that, it's going to be a full band, but the instruments are going to be more acoustic instruments. I'm going to have, I'm going to let some of my Americana stuff kind of slide in there a little bit. I believe blues is a wide tent. I'm an eclectic, that's what I like to say about myself. I'm not a Chicago style, I'm not a, I don't know. I like all kinds of different blues-based music, and that's why you asked me my influences, or people that I admire, the current guys and gals. Well, I've always liked Bonnie Raitt. I've always loved Kev Moe, Delbert McClinton. And what I like about them is they don't, Gatemouth Brown was another one too. They don't really stick to one thing. You know, they're very eclectic, and I mean, Taj Mahal can play with his band. He can rock it up with anybody, but he can play really, really deep, interesting, hypnotic blues, all kinds of things. So that's kind of where I kind of put myself when people ask me. You haven't asked me, but I just told you anyhow. So anyhow, here's one of those kinds of songs. So in this quasi-acoustic album that I'm going to start launching here pretty soon, these songs are all a little bit more personal, like this one right here. Worry tomorrow, tonight let's pretend time isn't borrowed, time is our friend. Don't have to hurry, no, never again. Until tomorrow, let's just pretend. Forget tomorrow, Tonight let's pretend we'll never know sorrow. This dream just won't end. Never be lonely, never end. Until tomorrow, let's just pretend. We know from the beginning just how the story ends. Still we go right on pretending never worried about where or when. Maybe tomorrow we'll have to pretend. Hearts that get broken quickly can mend, and hearts will be willing to find love again. Until tomorrow, let's just pretend. Until tomorrow, let's just pretend. Until tomorrow, let's just pretend.
Very nice.
Boy, that's, yeah, so that's one of the new ones I'm working on. Sorry about that. You know, these new tuners are such a blessing, aren't they? There's the culprit. All right, enough of that. Well, let's see. Here's another one right here. This is going to probably be the title track. It's called Broke Down and Busted Up. Some mornings I feel like that. Broke down, busted up, rattling bone, neath a heap of dust, mountain ash, river rust. Broke down, busted up, broke down and busted up. Take me back to my baby's side. Gotta get me there while there's still time. Wash my body, bless my soul. Dress me in my finest clothes. Take me back to my baby's side. Gotta get me there before I die. Help me please, if it's not too much. Well, I'm all broke down and busted up. That's right. Broke down. There was a time so long ago when I was happy, oh how them good times roll. Devil he come, gave up my soul, where my heart dwell, just an empty hole. There was a time so long ago when I was happy, let the good time roll. Temptation come, wasn't tough enough. Well, I'm all broke down and busted up. Yes, I am. Broke down, busted up, rattling bones neath a heap of dust, mountain ash, and a river rust broke down and busted up. Broke down and busted up. That's right. That's right. All right, here's the last verse now. Now should I go to my evermore? Just leave me at my baby's door. Tell her I'm sorry, I never changed my ways. Tell her how poorly I spent my final days. Now should I go to my baby's door? Just leave me there, my baby's door. Since she told me she'd had enough, I'm all broke down and busted up. Broke down and busted up. Rattling bones neath a heap of dust, mountain ash and a river rust. Broke down and busted up. Broke down, busted up. Rattling bone neath a heap of dust, mountain ash, river rust. I'm all broke down and busted up. Broke down and busted up. I'm all broke down and busted up. Busted up. Busted up. Busted up. Thanks. There's not really a lot of autobiographical in that. I was having a lot of fun with writing that. A photographer friend of mine, we had to do a picture. I had a big ad in the summer issue of one of the magazines, or Blues Music magazine, yeah. And we had to do a picture, and we found this old 1960 Chevy pickup truck with vines growing through it and stuff, and so we used that as the prop. And she said, "That's perfect." She said, "That truck's just like you, all broke down and busted up." I said, "Yeah, thank you. Thank you. That's a great idea." People say things to me like that, and I go, "I like the way that sounds," and sometimes they become a song. You never know. Never know. Can't help it. I'm always keeping an eye out, an ear out for really interesting kind of phrases you can build a song around. It's kind of fun. So, well, there's a couple from this new project I'm doing. I think I'm going to end with one more. Is that all right? Is there anything you want to ask me before I go, or comments or anything?
Yeah, we'd like you to ask you to play a couple more songs.
Okay. I've got a bunch of songs. I could just keep going here for a long time, but like I said, I don't know if you had other people there wanting to come on, so I don't want to get into their time.
Well, you're the last person on the show, so you.
Oh, well. All right. I'll give you two more. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right. So here's one right here that was a big hit at the Christmas party. In fact, another one that Marianne Cassell actually wrote that I said, Can I hear it again? She goes, yeah. She goes, oh, she's saying it to me into the phone. I go, oh, I can mess with that. She goes, can I mess with that one too? And she goes, why not? So I did. No, she's happy about it. So it's called Heal My Soul. Going down to the river, going down to the riverside, going down to the river. I'm gonna leave my trouble behind. Going up on the mountain, going up on the mountain to sing. Going up on the mountain, I'm gonna make that valley ring. Ah, heal my soul, heal my soul, heal my soul. Ah, heal my soul, heal my soul, heal my soul. Going out on the ocean, going out on the ocean to pray. Going out on that ocean, let the tide just wash me away. Ah, heal my soul, heal my soul, heal my soul. Ah, soul, heal my soul, heal my soul. Here we are back in Memphis town, down on the corner of the King and Beale. Here we are back in Memphis, let the blues play, how good it all feels. I'll heal my soul, heal my soul, heal my soul. I'll heal my soul, heal my soul, heal my soul. I heal my soul, heal my soul. Heal my soul, I heal my soul, heal my soul, won't you heal my soul? I heal my soul, heal my soul, heal my soul. I heal my soul, heal my soul, heal. Won't you heal my tortured soul?
So your band of tortured souls. Huh?
That's where that comes from. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Right.
Bands of tortured souls. Aren't we all my pitch when I usually play into a crowd is this. It's like, why do they call it tortured souls? You know, the music's playing in background. I go, listen, everybody, we're all tortured. We all know that. Something in our lives, something gets us from time to time. But today, right now, it's about the music. We're going to put all those things behind us, whether it's family, whether it's health, whether it's money, whatever's troubling us. Put it away for right now. It'll be waiting for you tomorrow morning. It's right now. Let's put that away. That's my whole pitch. And I believe in that as a musician. That's what I'm doing. I'm there to take because I know I take myself away when I'm doing it. You know, I'm gone. You know, I'm somewhere else. I'm not in, I'm in that room physically, but my spirit is calling somewhere else from somewhere else. And I want my audience to try to get there too. And man, when that happens, it is magic. It is magic, and it happened at your blues party. Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not for everybody, not all at the same time, but it definitely really felt good. So, yeah. Well, I got one more for you. I think this is a song I've never played for anybody yet. I'm a grandpa.
Yeah, join a club.
And my grandpa's kid, has got a really cool blues name. Not on purpose. Henry. That's unusual to name a kid that in these days, Henry. And that sounds like a blues name to me, like Henry, And so I wrote him a song. I haven't recorded it yet. My daughter, his mother, hasn't heard it. She's not listening tonight, I'm sure. She's busy taking care of her 1-year-old, Henry. She should be in bed by now. And I hope she likes it. It's a song for him. It goes like this. I want to get the pitch. Henry, don't you let nobody put you down. Don't let nobody kick you around. Always be a kind and a gentle boy. But don't let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody keep you down. I said, Henry, don't let nobody keep you down. When I was but a baby boy, playing at my grandpa's feet, with his guitar in my hand and love in his heart, oh, he sang this song to me. I didn't much understand him. It took years and many tears, from broken hearts and broken promises, before the meaning of them words came clear. And he sang, Henry, don't you let nobody keep you down. Let nobody put you round. Always be a kind and a gentle boy. Don't let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody keep you down. nobody keep you down. Well, I've grown up and my grandpa grew old, but still he loves that song. He looks me in the eye and says, come on, boy, I'd love for you to sing along. Henry, don't you let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody kick you around. Always be a kind and a gentle boy. Don't let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody keep you down. All right. Well, I still love to hear him play, and I still love this song. But with his guitar in my hands and his love in my heart, I play that song today. Henry, don't you let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody kick you around. Always be a kind and a gentle boy. Don't let nobody keep you down. Henry, don't you let nobody keep you down. Let nobody kick you around. Always be a kind and a gentle boy. Don't let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody keep you down. Don't let nobody keep you down.
What a pleasure.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fun, isn't it?
congratulations. Is that your first grandchild?
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I'm going to tell you all about something that's going to be a lot of fun. A week from this Saturday on the 24th, and you'll see it on Facebook, I'll be advertising it. I'm doing a really cool thing at my studio where I record. I record for Subcat Records, that's my label. They're in downtown Syracuse, New York. And we're going to be doing a really cool 5-camera video of a live rehearsal of the band. We're going to be rehearsing this new material. So I call it Fly on the Wall Live, or live rehearsal. So people, it's a Facebook Live thing. It's not a tip jar thing. People can, watch a little bit, tune in, comment, ask questions about something. You'll hear the band. Actually, we'll be all interacting, working out parts, details, and you'll see the process of where we go with these songs. Now, these songs won't be raw. I mean, we've thought through them a little bit on our own, so it's going to be really fun. I'll have somebody from the studio be monitoring the Facebook Live feed. So even if you want to just get on and say hi, or encouragement, or like I say in my promo video, which you'll see in a couple of days about it, come and watch the musical magic we hope to make happen, or be an innocent bystander and watch the blows that might be thrown or land during the rehearsal. You never know with some of these cats. They're saying that about me, but anyhow, that'll be cool. And you see about that, that'd be kind of a nice thing to do. I'll let you know about that. It'd be fun to get
Yeah,
you to
cool. Yeah, we'll put
tune
it
in
up on
and
our.
check out that studio and stuff. So,
Nice.
yeah,
Cool. So that's on the 24th?
the 24th of October. It's a Facebook Live thing. It's early enough, too. It's going to go from 6 to 7 p.m. And people get to get right in and participate. It's different, I mean, I love doing the videos. I've done a couple of them, the streaming things, but I think people are getting live video weary. People are eager for interactive things like this, rather than, I'm not going to sit out there in my pajamas and put my tip jar in front of me. I don't know, doesn't work for me. Anyhow, so this is going to be different.
Yeah, that's a really novel idea to be able to see in a studio and see that process, and that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like the Ozzy and Jack show, the Ozzy Osbourne thing. It's like that.
Yeah.
It'll be like that. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. We'll have a lot of fun with it, but we'll get into some serious work, and you'll see the level of detail that we get into in some of these songs when we rehearse them. That people that are not musicians, they don't understand. I believe in songcraft, and if you listen to my records, you know that I do.
Yeah.
And I believe in crafting songs. I love raw energy just as much as everybody else. I love doing that. But I believe that the studio is a place to create and a place to craft. I pay attention to the words that I write. I pay attention to the arrangements. That's what I love to do. So if we're going to get into that, we'll be doing it. It'll be fun. So
Yeah,
But
sounds
like
great.
I said at the head of this, thank you so much for having me. You guys are very forward thinking with the Blues Society going to this measure of trying to keep your blues community connected and involved and interested during these very difficult times. I'm not wasting my time during this whole COVID thing. I've been writing and writing and writing and writing, and when we're finally done with it, I'm gonna be ready. I'm not a young man. I'm still healthy, and I'm gonna hit the ground running, man. When this is over, I'm gonna give the last 10, 15 years of my life every goddamn thing I got. I'm gonna go get them. So, and I'm gonna be doing it, playing music. So I'm above Maryland. I can say goddamn. Below Maryland, you can only say damn. I gotta be careful. Sorry if I offended anyone.
You're far enough north.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, thanks. So anything
Thank
else
you,
you guys
Taz.
want to say, or?
Thank you so much. And all I'm going to say at this point is I'm going to be cutting off the live stream, and then so I want to invite everybody that's around to join us. Just click on the link